Hey everybody, welcome back to Chasing the God Shot. Today we have Justin with us today. Justin, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Justin's one of my super old school friends, so I'm really excited for him to kind of be here today to share his story. So jumping into the first question, what do you do in the coffee/food industry?
Hey, how you doing, man? So good to see you, Bubs. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it. Right now I actually work in the food service industry as a general manager, and right now I oversee about three different coffee bars, ranging from a franchise coffee bar to a specialty coffee bar. Of course, amongst other things throughout my day as a general manager, but for the most part, the majority of my day is spent talking about coffee, managing coffee, and drinking coffee.
What's your personal definition of a God Shot?
Well, I would say, I am a believer myself. So to me, to say something as deep as chasing the God Shot for your series is automatically you pulled me in with that. And then to understand and be able to get an understanding of what that means to different people and be able to share my perspective is a really great opportunity. Because honestly, for me, it's kind of a deep meaning for me. Coffee has truly changed my life in so many ways. So, for me, the God Shot is literally the beginning of change. It's the beginning of, for me being a chef, I would say that when you work in the kitchen, we chase the perfect plate. As a chef, you chase the perfect plate.
Okay, interesting.
So for me, this has a very deep meaning because I have a very serious respect for the coffee art and the coffee industry, just because I treat it the same as I would treat a chef. I treat baristas the same way. So for me, a barista chasing the God Shot or a coffee, lover chasing the God Shot is the same as a chef chasing the perfect plate. So for me, it has that same meaning, chasing that perfect moment of perfection where it comes to taste, to quality, to experience, to the way that it makes you feel emotionally, like the fact that it sticks with you and that memory will last with you forever. And in my case, it was the beginning of the day that I fell in love with coffee. To experience that was life-changing for me.
So speaking of your experience, kind of going into that, do you remember your first experience?
Oh yeah, I remember it all the time. It's almost an unforgettable moment because of the connection that it has in my life, that it truly is something that I can't forget. For many years, working as a manager for a very high-profile company, I was in charge of managing coffee bars, and I wouldn't even step foot inside of the coffee bar. I would manage it at a distance, basically managing it through talking to the staff and just kind of checking at the aesthetics of the place every day and making sure the operations themselves were running. But there came a day where I was short-staffed, like everyone else is. And, as a manager, what do you have to do? You got to jump into action. And in that moment, I wasn't able to. I've been in the food service for many years, and it was the first time I ran into a challenge that I truly couldn't conquer or overcome by myself. And one day, without even asking, that teacher approached me and was like, hey, let me help you out. I can teach you a couple things. I'll come meet you after work or something and show you how the machine works, and just like the basics, just so that you can actually know the lingo and know how to manage your staff. So that was huge. I wasn't going to miss out on that opportunity. So I took the person up on that opportunity. So the first day, went home kind of feeling like, man, I don't really know if I'm going to have the skills to accomplish this. But the next day I woke up super determined and was just like, I told my team what I was trying to accomplish, and they completely supported me. And they were like, "Man, do it. We know you can do it." Even kind of during the day, gave me some tips and like little hints to try to figure things out because I was going to be meeting with this teacher later on in the day again. So here it comes in a day, time to meet up with my teacher again. And he's like, "All right, I want you to pull a shot and, let's see how it tastes." So I'm like, "All right, cool." Pull a shot. And my trainer was like, "Whoa." And I was like, "What was that?" He's like, "That's perfect." I was like, "Okay." "What do you mean by perfect?" Trainer's like, "Well, when it comes to taste, when it comes to timing, weight, taste, all of the variables, you hit it perfectly on the money." And you're like, I think the teacher was like, "There's a slight variance in some of this stuff, but you're as close as you could be. And this is probably one of the best shots that I've ever had."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow." And the trainer's like, taste it. And I tasted it. And the moment the coffee hit my lips, the crema, I had never experienced that before in my life. Like I had never experienced that milky, creamy, like just the body from that crema as it hit my lips, and then kind of, begins the symphony of flavor as it continues to hit the tongue, right? So it's like that crema on that first sip, I'm like, whoa, this is already different from all the shots I've been pulling and every coffee I've ever tasted in my life. And then I continue to sip, and it's just like the balance of flavors, just the way my tongue was like literally dancing. And it was the moment I was like, I think I could drink coffee.
Dang, that's crazy.
Like, I think I could drink coffee. I was like, this is what it's supposed to taste like. And I remember looking at the bag of the coffee and just being like flabbergasted, because on the bag it says the notes that I should be tasting, and I tasted every single one of them. It was like
some profound moment kind of thing. Huh?
Wow. Like I was like, wow. And like the trainer was even like, that's pretty good. I was like, oh my God. You know who the trainer was?
You know what's funny before you say that? As you were saying that out, all the memories from what you said flooded back. Who was that person?
It was you, brother.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until you started talking. That's so crazy. I remember that day too. And it's just a casual thing, just to want to make sure that you're equipped to be able to understand what you're serving. But I remember those late nights. That's a trip. How has that experience changed your career, your life path? Has that changed anything for you?
It most definitely changed everything. After building that confidence of learning how to use and pull the shot from a manual espresso machine, steam the milk, and be able to make milk for a cappuccino or a latte or a macchiato, or like understanding all the differences between those things, and then learning the skills of, okay, this is how Starbucks, this is how Pete's, like it just opened up so much for me. I was able to now extend myself to other managers, train them, and that created a whole nother opportunity for me as far as growth. And from that moment, it leads me into now where I am working on building my own company, my own empire, and a part of that is a coffee business. So It is truly a business that I wish I could put more effort towards right now. But I know that when the time is set for that, it's going to be great. But still to this day, I love coffee. I bought my wife a espresso machine in her house because she was making coffee from a Keurig machine, and I was going to work and drinking very cultured cups of coffee and coming home and drinking Keurigs on the weekend. I was like, yeah, this doesn't work.
Gotta kick it up a little bit, yeah.
So now my wife even knows how to use a manual machine. She makes her own coffee on the espresso machine at home, and the beautiful part of all of that, and like I said previously before I started answering the last question, is I can't forget about my God shot in the moment because it's always around and a part of my life, and that's how much it's changed because I see you all the time, and you're a part of my family, so I still to this day look forward to you coming over so you can check the coffee machine out. Like Bubs
I was
coming
wondering
over,
why.
Calibrate the grinder.
And that's kind of a trippy thing. I've never heard that because the God shots that I've had have been in random places around the world, and I never see these people again. Yep. I don't really interact with them at all. Yep. So that's a trippy, lifelong connection, So kind of leading into the next question, are there any roasters or coffee shops that you have been to that you feel like people may be able to find their next God shot experience? Any recommendations for people?
I do actually. I can't say that I have experienced one to the level that I have that day with you. I've most definitely have experienced some good cups of coffee, but never that God shot anywhere else, I would say. Although, like I mentioned, I have built some really great relationships with some amazing roasters and coffee companies. For instance, there's a local company in San Jose called Nirvana Soul.
Yep,
up and coming company. It's a Black owned business. I love them. It's a woman owned, Black owned business. They're probably been around for a little while now. I just kind of got wind of them about a year ago. But their quality of their coffee is very, very delicious. Very consistent flavors, very bright flavors, I also really love their, the reason why I mentioned the brightness of their coffee is because of their coloring and their color scheme for their company.
Very bright,
Very bright. It's very just beautiful, and they're a great representation of the Bay Area right now. I think if you get the chance to check them out, they have two places, I think, in San Jose that are, one of them just is brand new. It just got built, and the other is their original spot. They have a great story. If you have time, check them out. Their family is, running the business, roasting the coffee, doing everything. It's a beautiful thing. It's two sisters and a brother running it. I think it's amazing. So check them out. And of course, I always like to shout out some local coffee spots that people may not know about unless you're from the Bay Area and you know the hood. So I want to shout out. If you're a Mountain View OG, you might know this one. I want to give a shout out to Clock Tower, man.
Oh, dang, Clock Tower. Heard of them in a while.
Dude, that's the OG spot in Mountain View. When it came to that life-changing experience that I had drinking coffee and learning from you, the place that I went to get coffee when I wasn't at work was Clock Tower. It was right around the corner from my house. I just remembered those flavors, this rich cinnamon, I would always get this really nice, rich cinnamon kind of chocolatey flavor from their coffee. I think that's their house, one of their house blends. So yes, I still drive to Mountain View, even when I don't have to go to work. I will still drive to Mountain View to buy bags of coffee from Clock Tower.
That's how you know it's good,
Yep.
Trip.
And just because I can't forget the last one, because like I said, I love coffee and I know a few people. If you haven't been and you're out one day looking to chill out, get a good breakfast, and then maybe finish out with a nice walk in a really cool area and grab some amazing coffee, check out Devout Coffee.
Oh yeah,
man.
they're one of my favorites.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now, see, that gets ordered for the house, right? So that's the specialty coffee we order for the house. So if you haven't checked them out, great company. They do all their roasting in house right there in their little shop right there off of Alvarado Niles in Fremont.
So if people want to get a hold of you, just to kind of get more information about you or about Shug's company, like where could people go?
So you can find me in a couple different places. You'll find me on Instagram at Shugs. It's actually S_U_G_E_Z because someone stole the other name. So it's all good. We'll get it back eventually. So you can check us out at Shugs on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook at Shugs Barbecue. That was the first page that we started, so the name kind of got stuck with the barbecue. So forgive us there. And then, of course, you can always email us at masonjars1929@gmail.com. If you're looking to book an event or you want to reach out, have some questions about menus or even some events that we have coming up, maybe you want to come check out a pop-up or something like that and come visit me and Bubs and experience chasing the God plate.
Ooh, that's a whole nother thing going on. Interesting. Well, I know what my experience with Shug's has always been pretty awesome. The food's legit. Been doing this for a while. He definitely knows what he's doing. So if you're going to be in the Bay Area at any time, definitely reach out, see when the next events are. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, thanks for taking the time to be here and share your story. That was a trip that I didn't realize that was going to happen. So definitely.
I told you put your seatbelt on, dude.
Appreciate you sharing. So thanks everybody watching. We'll make sure all of the notes and locations and places that we talked about are in the description. Definitely check out Shugs if you got the time. Support local business. So, all right, brother. It's good chatting. Talk to everybody and see everybody next time. Hey, bye.
Yes, we will. Thanks for having me, man. You take it easy. God bless y'all.